Hey guys, Banana Luck here and welcome back to another Water of Realms video. So today we'll be reviewing the other half of the 10x drop, Calypso. So a unit that, most of us are probably familiar with. I mean, I have her at A1, but full disclosure, is naked in the sense that she doesn't have any gear and I've only skilled her up to, to the extent that she starts using crystals. So I have no intentions to build her yet because I do have very decent piercers, or rather marksmen. I have Hatsuit, Silas, as well as Setrum. So really don't see any content where I need her at the moment. But let's go more into a kit and see, whether or not this is a decent 10x to, pull for. So firstly, let's just take a look at her basic stats. So at max, this is not really a good place to, okay, yeah, over here. So Calypso, so right now she's at max level. She's 9.7k HP, 3.2k attack. I mean, sorry guys, I should probably just view her from the gallery because that's the best way to see her stats. Yep, over here. So at max level, she has 11k HP, 3.7k attack, which is pretty low compared to the average marksman. And range-wise, I think that's pretty standard for all piercers. And obviously, if you have Lunaria Araka, that's going to be increased by 1 additional roll. Cost-wise at 12, pretty decent. Could see her being used in Geared 3 if you have her decked out pretty well. And other than that, attack interval of 2, I think all that is pretty okay, and rage regen of 14 automatically. So no talent, which is fine, but let's just take a look at her kit first. So basic attack, very simple, 120 damage to one enemy, prioritizing airborne units as with most marksmen. Her ultimate is where things get interesting. If you've been playing Chapter 8, you'll be very familiar with her. She's the snake lady that gets more and more powerful if you don't disrupt her ultimate. So it's the same here. When you have her as your hero, you need to get her ultimate up as much as possible. And it's 600 initial rage cap, 600 rage cap, and it's automatic. She just keeps summoning the stones, and at max level, that goes down to 500. And this extra damage that she deals is just going to come with her basic attacks. So at max with 4 stones, that's going to give you an extra 120% damage. So it may explain why her base damage is a bit lackluster, because basic damage is basically all that she does. And onto her other skills, so first passive, Evil Power. Every 9 attacks, her next attack does 150% damage, and each Sealstone increases damage by 10%. So at max level, this is going to deal 250% damage, and each Sealstone is going to add 20%. So that's going to be 250 plus 80%, 330% extra damage, and 7 attacks to proc at max level. So far from her kit, it still looks like it's all base damage. And last but not least, Evil Protection. Caster and the Sealstones gain Eldritch God's Blessing every 35 seconds, triggering 2 hit combos on attacks for 6 seconds. So at max, that's gonna be at 10 seconds and cooldown of 25 seconds. The kit is really all out physical damage. Nothing special, pretty plain, just double attacks, more attacks, and the more Steelstone you have, the more damage you do. So you can see by now, she's not the unique snake lady which you fought in chapter 8, where that's that super lightning shot when she does like 4 attacks, and also there's no AoE aspect of it as compared to what we saw in the chapter 8 gameplay. But my main issue with her, when I've seen people use it, is that it takes a lot of time to get her Sealstones up. There's no initial rage cap, you have to fulfill this 4 times. And her Awakenings does help a bit. So Awaken 1, when Steelstone deals damage, increases rage by 5. So that means that once you get your first Steelstone up, the remaining Steelstones are going to ramp up pretty quickly. And Awaken 2 increases her damage. It's a flat out 300 increase, which is nice because she has pretty low base attack anyways. Evil Protection, duration for 2 seconds, so this means that this goes up to 12 seconds, which is almost at a 50% uptime. Awaken 4, Rage Regen per attack increases by 2, so just making sure that she gets the Sealstone up even quicker, which is pretty nifty for Calypso, given how much it takes to actually get her up and running. You need all her Sealstones. And at max level, Max Awakening, the Sealstone increases by 1. So that's why people always say that you need her at A5, because this is where she really shines, you know, having her at 5 Sealstones. And one very interesting thought that came to mind when I thought about this is that, hey, it's gonna work really well with Soulbound Arcana, because without her Awaken 5, Infernal Roar and Soulbound Arcana have no difference. But with Soulbound Arcana, she's gonna get her Steelstone capped to 5, and that means that she can proc her ultimate 5 times. And given how her kit is all about maximizing getting her Steelstones up, you can really start to see why she shines well there. And I think lots of people that play Calypso in the endgame, they don't use her in any other content. I see her mostly being used for Guild Boss. If we just pop over the Guild Boss, look at World Rankings. We have Fuzzy here, the guy in the Asia server that's knocking everyone out. He has Calypso at A5. And you can see that, yeah, obviously Soulbound Arcana is the way to go. And Nether Messenger as well, because she just does flat out damage. And if we just look at his stats, his Calypso is pretty decent, dealing 72k damage. I mean, not as high as Silas and Hex for sure, but still pretty decent considering what I've been seeing Calypso do. So some of the people, the content creators have been saying Calypso just hits like a noodle, that's why they don't like her, and I think that's really my struggle with her as well, which is why I haven't built her, because I just haven't seen any content that she shines at, and also all the reviews of her have been pretty nasty, so it just doesn't make sense for me to actually gear her up. I'd rather spend that on someone else, and also given that she needs Araka's lot bonus to really shine, because there's this for every 1 tile away from the target, she increases their damage by 5%. So I think without this, it starts to get a bit iffy as to whether or not, you know, Calypso is a good pool. And I think when compared to the likes of Silas and Hex, it just becomes very obvious that, you know, Calypso is not the ideal legendary to pull if you're looking to clear content. Just take a look at my Silas alone. Silas is just destroying the guild boss at the moment, and I don't even have him at max skill up. So that's the beauty of it, versus my Valeria and Ziltu, which have much higher skill ups, and they have a faction bonus actually. So if you ask me, this week's 10x event looks like a no-go for me, especially if you're new to the game. And I think even if you're a whale, I don't think that, you know, Calypso is going to be very relevant for you guys. Unless you need her at A5, then maybe it's worth a pull, but bear in mind that you might get Eileen as well. So as of this moment, I think 2x pull is more worth it, but seeing that there's no 2x pull this weekend, then, you know, it becomes pretty obvious that Calypso is a no-go for me. And yeah, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, feel free to leave a like, or even subscribe, and, you know, or even leave a comment if you have any questions about Calypso. But that's it for the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.